Okay, good day everyone. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Jayson Rabara. I am a Master of Science in Criminology student at Pan Pacific University. Okay, so today I will discuss to you about my research studies. So regarding on security and safety measures, an assessment in banking institutions. Okay, so let's start. Background of the study. So security management aims to ensure that effective information security measures are taken at the strategic, tactical, and operational levels. Information security is not a good in itself. It aims to serve the interests of the business or organization. Comprehensive workplace security is very important because it will reduce liabilities, insurance, compensation, and other social security expenses to be paid by the company to the stakeholders. A building is a place for employees to work and a place where most of the time of individuals spend most of their day. The workplace is expected to be well made to protect its employees in case of disasters such as earthquakes. Therefore, the workplace should have a safe and secure facility environment for employees and consumers and other individuals who are concerned in an establishments. Okay, thus this study aims to explore the security personnel and employees' perspective on the security and safety measures of banking institutions in Dagupan City to be able to provide the basis for policy formulation to ensure security and safety. Okay, conceptual framework. The conceptual framework as illustrated below contains three variables: the profile of the respondents, the effectiveness of physical and electronic security of banking institutions, and the perspectives of the respondents on the importance of the physical and electronic security of banking institutions. The conceptual framework shows that there is a relationship between these three in a way that the effectiveness of the physical and electronic security of banking institutions affects the perspectives of the respondents on the importance of said aspects of security in their establishments. Consequently, the result of this study is hoped to contribute knowledge on improving and formulating strategies of measures for the security of banking institutions. Okay, we go to figure 1. This is the conceptual framework of the study. So there is the safety and security measures of banking institutions, profile of the respondents, banking employees, level of effectivity of security and safety measures. So there's the baseline information for improvement and preventive measures of banking institutions. Okay, this is the research paradigm. So input, profile of the respondents, level of effectivity of security and safety measures, and then there's the process. I have conducted a survey. Then there's the output, recommendations of security personnel and employees in strengthening the security and safety measures of banking institutions. So we go to a statement of the problem. This study aims to answer the following questions to assess the security and safety measures of banking institutions to be able to have a basis for strategic policy formulation. So number 1, what is the profile of the respondents in terms of the following? There's their name. I indicate their name. Then, but it is optional. Then their sex, age, and their highest educational attainment. Number 2, how effective are the security and safety measures of banking institutions in terms of perimeter barriers and barriers detection, security measures of the installation process, personnel security, operational security. Number 3, what are the recommendations of security personnel and employees in strengthening the security and safety measures of banking institutions? So there's the design and methodology of the research. This study will be quantitative research wherein the approach values statistical descriptions and precise measurements. A questionnaire will be administered among bank employees from different banks in Dagupan City. The questionnaire would comprise the profile of the respondents, the level of extent of implementation, effectivity of banking institutions, physical security, and electronic security, and the recommendations of the respondents to enhance the safety and security measures in their establishments. The indicators will be evaluated by the respondents using the Likert scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the highest and 1 being the lowest. So, population and local of the study. The participants of the study will be selected through purposive sampling. Through purposive sampling, the participants of this study would include the banking employees and their security personnel. The researcher identified these participants because the banking employees are one of the primary individuals who will be affected in case of hazards, and the security personnel were the assigned personnel for the enforcement of security management. For what it's worth, safety and security is the main concern of everyone. Thus, the importance of the responses from this group is essential. The researcher selected Dagupan City as the location of the study because it is a chartered city in the province of Pangasinan. A chartered city is also a local government unit, but because they have higher revenue, they have independence in implementing policies from the province. The researcher hopes that other municipalities or cities might learn from the experience and government response of a chartered city, given that they have more capacity to implement ordinances or rules and regulations because of their independence. Data gathering procedure. The researcher will write a letter of request to the banking institutions to ask permission to conduct the study. Upon approval, the researcher went to the offices of the identified participants to orient them and ask for their available schedule and venue for the data gathering. The researcher oriented the participants that on the day of the scheduled interview, informed consent will be presented to be signed by the participants for their agreement and voluntary participation. After the analysis and interpretation of the data gathered, the researcher returned the results to the participants to seek their confirmation or validation before the final write-up of the report and dissemination. This process helped the participants build confidence because it will assure them that the results are not judged and interpreted solely by the researcher themselves. This also helped the researcher confirm the analysis and interpretation that they have made are correct and words or statements are used appropriately. The researcher ensured that the observance of health protocols in conducting this study. The researcher wrote a letter to the banking institutions addressed to the head managers to ask his permission in conducting the study, which will contain the title, the objectives, and the procedures during the conduct of the study. The researcher communicated with the focal person in terms of the data gathering procedures. The researcher proposed a few options. Number 1, The first option is to instrument online by sending it through email or messenger, whichever is more convenient for them. The second option is to gather the participants in a prospected venue in the city hall in which physical distancing will still be observed in a scheduled time frame. The third option will be the researcher will communicate with the head managers of the different offices. The head managers or the focal person, if there is any, will let their personnel answer the instrument in their area, and the researcher will retrieve them upon completion. Statistical treatment of data. Frequency counts and percentages are the statistical tools that will be used for the data on the respondent's profile, whereas mean will be used to determine the level of effectiveness of banking institutions, physical security, and electronic security. The percentage is computed as the quotient of the frequency and the total number of observations multiplied by 100%. Okay, so that's all my presentation ended, and thank you for your time listening, and good day and keep safe everyone. God bless. Bye bye.